Yeah, thanks.
At least I didn't need a apartment or something.
Great. Okay. We are live. Sorry, guys, about the delay. We're just kind of getting everything figured out here, I guess. I'm new to this business of live events, I guess, on social media. But anyways, good afternoon. Welcome to our second edition of Chamber Talk with Torrie. I am the Executive Director for the Boardman Chamber of Commerce, and I'm excited to be here today with Weston Putnam. He's the Manager of Public Relations. We're going to be talking about a little bit more about UEC, some upcoming new projects they got going on, employment challenges like we all have, and energy efficiency during the winter holiday months. So I would just like to mention to everybody that's online right now with us, you can leave comments, questions and stuff in the chat. If we have time at the end or during our discussion, if it is relevant to what we're discussing, we will answer those questions for you guys at that time. If not, you're always welcome to follow up with Weston later on.
Absolutely.
And you can reach out, and I'm sure he'll be sharing that information during our discussion today. So I would just like to say welcome. Thanks for coming today.
Thank you, Torrie. Appreciate it. We're happy to be here. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
Looking forward to talking about what UEC has going on and just how the audience can potentially save some money coming up in the holiday season.
Absolutely. So let's just start off. Let's tell us about you and
Okay.
how you got to Umatilla Electric, because I don't even know that story.
Yeah, so I'm a local guy, Southern Morrow County, born and raised in Eastern Oregon. I graduated from Heppner High School. So go Mustangs. We got a big game this weekend, so I'm going to do a little plug there. A big game this weekend. And after high school, I went on to Oregon State University, where I received my degree in business administration with a concentration in digital marketing.
Oh, okay.
And so after that, I got tired of the rain, came back to Eastern Oregon. I worked for a digital marketing firm in Tri-Cities, and then another one in Lehi, Utah. I was remote, so I still lived in Eastern Oregon, but worked for two digital marketing firms, and during that time, I really helped lead and manage their advertising campaigns for law offices, dental offices, just really any organization that went to the agency for support. And then in the fall of 2020, I started with Umatilla Electric in my first role as executive assistant to our vice president of engineering operations, Josh Langford. In that role, I like to call myself the Swiss Army knife.
You're right.
Although I didn't have as many tools or near as sharp enough as the Swiss Army knife. But I like to say that because there was just a lot of different factors into that position. I worked with operations and I worked with engineering, and then you're also basically a liaison between the VP and those departments. And then in April of 2021, I transitioned into the role I'm in now, which is Manager of Public Relations. So I have the privilege to work with our wonderful public relations team on really all things community focused.
Right.
So we're doing a lot of the marketing, sponsorships, just really anything logo, or if you see UEC's brand out, it's the whole organization, but it comes from the public relations department.
And what is that team? What's that?
Yeah,
Who's
so we have
consisted on that team?
So we have two content creators. They are Jody Thomas and Kim Rill. They are really focused and lead the charge on basically what the title sounds like, content creation.
Yep.
Whether that's on Facebook, website, Rural Light, which is our member magazine, our new email newsletter, but whatever it may be, they're the focus and the lead on all things content. Then we have two public relations representatives, so they're the ones out about in the community, and that's Amy Callan and Tammy Sinor.
Yep.
And they kind of have their own little leads. Tammy is mainly focused on key accounts or our, some of our fairly large members or large irrigators.
Big stakeholders.
And then Amy's more focused on like the youth in the community, so leading the charge on like our summer science camps, youth tours, things along that nature. And then in time, we'll have hopefully two energy efficiency representatives. We do have one right now with a position open, and that's Jackie Caldera. And she's really in charge of just anything energy efficiency. If she can save residential members, commercial members, industrial members money by advising them on certain energy efficiency tactics, that's what she does.
Is she new in that position?
She is. She's been with UEC for, I want to say, 4 or 5 months. So fairly new.
Did she replace somebody else in that position?
We did have, his name was Alex Ruiz.
Yes.
He came from a cooperative in Texas.
Okay.
And he was with us for a little over a year, and then wanted to be closer to family, so had to move back to Texas.
Perfect.
Yeah.
That's exciting. I'm actually going through here at the Sage Center. I'm the Sage Manager as well, one of my many hats. We're going through an energy efficiency project right now with updating our lighting here because our lighting is so old. So
Yeah.
it's a great program.
It is a great program, and Jackie, even only being here 4 or 5 months, has just taken it with stride, and she's doing an excellent job. She originally was at the city of Umatilla.
Yep.
So she's been an awesome asset to the team.
Awesome. Well, that's exciting. So, you know, a lot of people know when you flip your lights on and off and everything else, how this
Right.
power gets to you. So can you tell us a little bit how that happens and what it means is to be a cooperative?
Yeah, absolutely. So a lot of times when people think of UEC or a utility in general, you think of climbing poles, and which is a huge piece of the puzzle.
Right.
But there's so many things that happen behind the curtain.
Yes.
And so just want to give a little highlight to it. So we are, like you said, a cooperative. So that means we're local, member owned. We are owned by the people we serve. And our service territory stretches here in Boardman all the way east to the foothills of the Blue Mountains, roughly covering nearly 2,000 square miles. And not so much in the Boardman area, but across our service territory, other utilities that some listeners may be aware of is Pacific Power or Hermiston Energy Services.
Oh, yeah.
Pacific Power is what we call an investor-owned, so they're a for-profit organization. And HES, Hermiston Energy Services, is very similar to co-op, but they're a municipality, so they're owned by the city of Hermiston.
Oh, gotcha.
So that just gives a little education to how co-ops are different. And
these little places are kind of little niches inside of like UEC's boundaries.
Like
so these boundaries are odd boundaries.
They are in our service. They are very, very odd. Our service territory is located on our website, but if you looked at it, you know, you would see that just outside of Umatilla we serve, but then inside
Right.
Pacific Power.
Yeah.
Outside areas and some suburban areas of Hermiston we serve. Some are HES. So
Yep.
it's a lot of times it's hard for people to know that. Sometimes people think all in Eastern Oregon, if I'm served by Pacific Power, someone 10 blocks down the road is going to be Pacific Power. That's
Or 3 blocks.
Or 3 blocks, and that's not necessarily
Exactly.
the case.
Or if there's an outage, they're trying to call you and it's really not you guys, it's somebody else.
Right.
So, yeah.
The other thing that sets co-ops apart is co-ops across the nation really live and abide by 7 cooperative principles. Like that's what drive employees, it's what drives the organization, and that is 1, voluntary and open membership. So that means regardless of age, gender, race, religion, whatever it is, you have a right to be a part of our cooperative. Have a right to be a part of any co-op. There's no discrimination when it comes to membership. 2 is democratic member control. We have, across our service territory, 7 districts, and each district has an elected board of director.
Yep.
And that director is elected by the members in that respective district. So we want our members to know that democratically, you have a voice in this.
Yep,
you have a vote. You have 1 member, 1 vote.
Yep. And do you know who are, like, say we're here in Boardman today, who's our
Lee Dawkins?
Lee Dawkins.
Lee
So
Dawkins.
if you have a concern within your area and you want to talk to that person, you can go to Lee and talk to him about those things, or is that how that works, or how does that work?
Typically, we try to, if there is concern or any, whatever it may be, we typically try to have staff handle it, but then if it does get to, then
They bring it to you.
Lee is the voice for the members in his district.
Gotcha.
But typically, we try to handle it as staff.
Yep.
But we understand some things can't necessarily always happen.
Relationships.
Right. Number 4 is autonomy and number 3 is member economic participation. We want our members to know that when you pay an electric bill, you're not just paying for lights, you're paying for equity in the co-op. So that can come in the fact of certain benefits, like our scholarships, for example, are only open to UEC members and their kids. And then also capital credits, which we'll get to later in the conversation.
Yeah.
The 4th is autonomy and independence. So we're a completely autonomous organization, self-help organization. There's no external drivers or factors into our organization. And number 5 is education and training. Number 6 is cooperation among co-ops. And my personal favorite is concern for community.
Exactly. So can you expand on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So we, again, our co-op, so we are so focused on just community and giving back. And that consists of, like I mentioned, scholarships, youth tours that we have. We have a Hydromania summer science camp, which some may be familiar with.
Yes.
We have 3 2-week-long summer science camps throughout the summer that anywhere from 25 to 30 students can participate in each camp. So we get 90 to 100. If it's 30, we get about 90 students a summer participating in that. In all, we had nearly 2 million with donations, sponsorships, energy efficiency, scholarships, just everything added together. UEC contributed $2 million in the previous year. So it just, co-ops across the nation are all doing this.
Right. And
it's just my personal favorite principle, because not only is it, I talk about the organization, but employees at the organization drive it too.
Yep.
We, as an organization, as teams, highly encourage anyone
Yep.
to give back to your community as best as you can. One specific example that just wrapped up, we raised over $4,200 for breast cancer awareness,
Yep.
and that was all employee funded.
Right.
We ran throughout the month of October. Our technical administrative assistant, Linda Kennedy, set up the whole fundraising. We played like little mini golf.
Yep.
We did.
Had
You can buy,
pink
you can buy
dress-up
socks.
days.
Every Thursday you dressed up just to increase the awareness of
Right,
it. And
yeah.
we raised over $4,200
That's
as
amazing.
employees.
That's amazing. That's a good cause to drive back in the
It
community
is, and it
give
just
back.
it feels good, and it's, I know just being a part of the co-op, you feel it, like you're a part of a cooperative
Absolutely.
family.
It's like a family, yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and I saw it on social media. You guys just recently posted just before we went live. What did that money go towards?
Good Shepherd Community Health Foundation.
Oh, perfect.
So the nonprofit of
Yep.
Good Shepherd.
Which gives back to the community again
Right,
through their
exactly.
grant programs
Yep.
and stuff like that. So that's amazing.
Yeah, the money is, it goes towards supporting women who can't quite afford breast cancer screening.
Right.
So all that money that we contributed and others have contributed goes towards the foundation, and then they support the individuals.
The individuals. That's amazing. I like that. So you highlighted a lot of key community initiatives with the cooperative does. Can you give us our audience an update on what's going on from an operations standpoint?
Yes, absolutely. So just with all the community initiatives I mentioned, there's also a lot happening from an operations standpoint.
Yes, there is.
Our crews have been very, very busy, and just with any other organization and other board and chamber members,
Yeah.
we're shorthanded.
Right.
It's hard to
It
keep
is.
and retain talent
Yeah.
in Eastern Oregon right now and across America.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'll start kind of the broader service territory and work my way back towards the Boardman area.
Okay.
So all the way east, up near our Weston Mountain area, we just rebuilt Weston Mountain Substation. It serves 800 members. And in order to do that, this is a pretty cool little fact that I like to share. We couldn't just rebuild it. We took a mobile substation that was parked at our Boardman Operations Center here in Boardman
Yeah.
and hauled it up the mountain. It's on wheels completely, so it's like the substations you drive by with
Right.
the transformers,
Yeah.
the reclosers, all the equipment
On wheels.
on wheels. And we hauled it up there, got it stationed up. So while the substation was being rebuilt,
Temporary.
They were all temporarily being served by this mobile sub.
That's impressive.
It is.
That's a cool way to think. I mean, you wouldn't think you could do that and to be able to provide a service like that and not be down.
Right,
and
and
have
it's really fascinating to me because I wasn't here, but in 2016, I think there's a huge heat wave, and a lot of our irrigators were needing to
Yes.
push out, obviously, a lot of irrigation.
Yes.
And at the time, one of our substations was not able to keep up due to the load.
Right.
So a mobile substation was able to be used to help keep serving our members and keep serving our irrigators
To
during
provide
the
additional
most important
power.
time of their year.
Right.
And then now we have, I believe, 3 mobile subs with a 4th on the way, just for instances like that, just to
Right.
better serve
Yep.
those key stakeholders.
That's awesome.
And then the other one heading back down to west is heading towards Irigan.
Yep.
We are rebuilding what we are calling our Irigan South substation.
Uh-huh.
So it serves the residential areas of Irigan, so that will be rebuilt. That is really just an aging infrastructure project. If we let it sit any longer, the reliability becomes a concern.
Yep.
We don't want that for any member.
Right.
Uh,
Will
then
that allow for the growth that we're kind of starting to
it
see
would-
in the Irigan area as well?
It provides redundancy and reliability,
Perfect.
strength, but
Yep.
it also allows for additional growth. If
Perfect.
needed. And then heading east, just east of Hermiston, we are rebuilding our Columbia substation, and then a transmission line off of that to also help towards reliability and growth from an irrigation standpoint.
Awesome.
And then several distribution lines across our service territory, but I'll move towards Boardman now. We do have one in right on Wilson Lane that's currently under construction
Yeah.
right now.
Yep.
And the difference between distribution and transmission for the audience and for Torrie is transmission. When you talk about transmission, those are the big steel poles that you see driving around. And distribution are the ones that you get closer to your house, and they're often the wooden poles. And they're the ones right outside your house connecting to your house.
Yeah.
So this project out at Wilson is a distribution project. The facility or the route is already right there, and what the project basically is a rebuild of the current line, just with an additional height on the poles to add for another line to add for reliability.
Right.
And so what this will do is add reliability for the residential areas, but also the irrigation areas. And
So when you say reliability, is that just like, what's that mean when you say reliability?
in terms, reliability is how we try to limit how many outages our members
Right.
experience.
That's what I was wondering. If
Yes,
it's
and
like
that's what I mean
like
by
a backup
reliability.
system, like
So
it offers.
for distribution, I don't know the ins and outs of it as much as one of our engineering teams or engineering personnel, but for a substation, by building a substation, that provides reliability by, let's say you have a line heading this way, going to a transmission line,
Yep.
and a line heading, I'll try so they can see, and a line heading this way.
Yep.
If a tree or high wind or something
Yeah.
falls over here,
Yep.
our hub is still here with the substation, so you can move line around,
And you can
so it provides
circle.
reliability
So
everywhere.
it keeps connectivity. When one section's down, you can double back connectivity and get
Yep.
people back online
Yeah.
faster.
So we try to make like a big circle of
Right.
reliability as
Right.
best as we can.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And then another one. Some audience members may have seen this, but we are also putting in advanced meters across our service territory. We are done with the Boardman area, and we're done with the Weston Mountain area, and then in 2023 we are going to be hitting the Hermiston area. And what these advanced meters do, it's currently right now, if someone is experiencing an outage, our system operators and our SCADA room, which is our data of how we can see like what's going on around
Right.
our system, we rely on phone calls. So if like 5 people call us, our system's able to pick up and take a guess of there's probably an outage right here,
Right.
and here's who else is probably affected. What these new meters do is as soon as it happens, we don't need phone calls, we get notified. The outage is happening right at this address. Here's who else is.
Don't have to
being
search it. You can
Yep.
find it.
So it helps from a reliability or a outage response
Yes.
standpoint from not only the crews, but from a communications perspective too. Instead of having to wait for phone calls to come in, we want to be able to get it on our website, get it on our Facebook while crews are in and
Right.
out.
So public relations, like your
Mhm.
team, would be sending out something across social medias and different avenues.
Is the goal, yeah.
It's a goal.
It's a goal.
It's a future goal,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Don't we all? We had
Mhm.
this technical difficulty with this Facebook Live. We have to rely on our technology, and it's not.
Keeps you on your toes.
It does, right? Throws you curveballs. I like curveballs, I guess. So, as a chamber member, you seem very busy at the moment. But what are some recruiting perspectives to help support these initiatives and make sure the lights stay on?
Yeah. So again, I know everyone is dealing with these challenges. Some things that
Absolutely.
we've tried to do is we've tried to put a big focus on local talent. And so 2 of our engineers on our team right now, Kai Arbogast and Alec Earls, started as interns. Kai is originally from Hebner. I'm not quite sure where Alec is, but Kai's story is unique in the fact that even during college, same thing with Alec, but he's still in college right now, so he's still an intern.
Yep.
But Kai is full-time engineer now, and he started at UEC while he was still in college. And he was working during the summer, working even remotely while he was still pursuing his degree. And then when he graduated, the job was right there.
Right.
So we're trying to put a focus on that, and we've tried to partner with the Port Morrow and the workforce development
Yep.
team, taking
Yeah,
part
Columbia
in
Works.
the educator externship, Columbia Works, job shadows that are available, because the biggest challenge that I think we face, and I'm sure others do too, is electric utilities are kind of an unknown industry.
Yes.
Not a lot of people, you flip your lights on, if they work, you go on about your day. If they don't, you're going to be upset.
Right, exactly.
But the people don't realize what happens behind the scenes.
You're right.
People don't realize
There's a lot of
there's
departments.
communications, there's accounting, there's billing, there's engineering, operations,
Right.
technical administrative assistants. You
Mhm.
have this whole scheme of people who
Yep.
are behind
Yes.
the curtain.
Yes.
And so I guess the biggest challenge we have from a recruiting perspective is just that we're an unknown industry. And some things we're trying to do is like I said, focus on local talent, but also make it fun,
Yes.
make it interesting. We
Right.
On our careers page right now, we have a video of we're interviewing some of our employees and why
Yep.
they are with UEC and why they stay with UEC. We try to focus on some of the benefits that co-ops offer, and they're just tremendous. In UEC specifically, we have a tuition reimbursement program that employees can take advantage of. And it's going to take time, and it has taken time, but it's just an awareness thing. Like there's more than just climbing poles. There's more than just designing.
Right.
And I will say the public relations team, our team, has a challenge.
It does have a challenge.
Because we're marketing for something that
you don't get to see.
well, you don't get to see.
Right.
And you can't.
You think power, you think, you think cooperatives and stuff like that. You think the lineman guys that are out there
Right.
putting the poles to the ground and fixing the wires. But
it's, when I went to school, and I've talked with other team members on this, you're always taught, like, sell something, like a call to action, like get them to click on something.
yeah.
I wouldn't be at UEC if I went out and said, this day only 20% off kilowatt hours.
Right.
Like you can't say that.
No.
You can't say.
There's no discounts.
Yeah, there's no discounts. You can't say by this Friday you're going to get 50% off. And so it's just what we communicate on. And I know I'm getting down a rabbit hole because we're talking about recruiting, but what we try to communicate on, both from a recruiting, is just the community piece.
Yes.
What the co-op does from a community perspective.
The give
Maybe
back.
not the electricity,
Right.
which I think we do pretty well.
Yep.
But the giving back and how the co-op can be really an economic partner in the industry.
Yep. And here
Or in the region.
I work really hand in hand with the Columbia Works program and our high school internship programs and stuff like that. And I really believe in that whole grow your own. If you grow your own with these internship programs from high school to college to, while they're in college, and keep them with you, their roots are in a community already. So if you can grow them into a position that fits your needs
Right.
and their needs, they're going to be more apt to stay because their family's here. It's not like they're ones that live in Texas came here and they had to go, I want to be back to family.
Yeah, exactly.
So I live on the grow your own theory.
Yeah, I think we at UEC all do. In fact, we have conversations where, even if we know someone may take 3 to 5 years to
Right.
figure something out,
It's
they'll
still-
be here in 3
right,
to 5
it's
years.
still worth
yeah,
the-
they'll be here. They're
right.
local. They're not going to leave,
Right.
and we can grow our own.
Yeah, and you're investing in your talent.
Right.
Yeah. Awesome. So there's new programs and initiatives. Do you want to tell the audience about those and anything special that you have been working on also?
Yeah, so recently, November 1st was our first launch of it. Actually, November 7th, the first week, is what we're going to always try to do. We launched our new external email newsletter.
Oh.
So it's going to come out on a monthly basis, and on there you can get an update on projects, rebate incentives or measures that someone can take advantage of, the access to our Rule Light, which comes out. It's access to a digital version, and then even just project updates, key news, things going on, and just a total update on your cooperative. So that's new for us.
Right.
This was new, and so this was our first one, and we've done pretty well in terms of analytics. Like, it's done pretty well from an open standpoint. I will just like to say, if you don't have or don't think UEC has your email, then that was the reason why you didn't get it. We only have a certain amount of email addresses, and they're only up to date to a certain point.
Right.
And we try to keep it updated as best we can, but just like you and
Right.
I don't use an email address that I had 5 years ago
Nope.
or 3 years ago. So
Or it goes to spam.
Or it goes to spam. So that's been exciting. That's something we got kicked off. So we're excited to see what comes from that.
Right.
Another.
So before you go on to that, so on your website, is there, so like on the Boardman Chambers website, we have a little thing on the side that says if you want to keep up to date, input your name and your email address, and this will automatically put you on our newsletter, and we will you'll receive all of our new e-newsletters.
Yeah.
Do you have something like that on your website?
Yeah, great point. And the place I would tell you to go, just so you can see the newsletter as well, is when you go to our website, on the very right, you're going to see About Us. Go to About Us and hover over it, and then click on the external email newsletter.
Okay.
You're going to go to that page, and it's going to be what we're trying to call our hub of the email newsletter.
Yep.
And then on there, we say, don't have an updated email address, and that's where you can send your contact information. And it's going to go to our member services or public relations team,
Yep.
and we'll get it inputted for the next one.
Input in for the
Yep.
next one. Perfect. That's exciting. So, What else do you got going on?
Another project that's kicking off fast is UEC's Manufactured Home Replacement
Yes,
Program.
we got one in the ground, right?
Yeah, we're getting one in the ground. I think the home arrived, and I think it's getting installed if it's not already.
Right.
So we're moving fast. What that was UEC went and obtained $3 million from the USDA Rural Energy Savers Program to create this manufactured home, and this is, at least from what I know, one of its first of its kind for USDA. And it's been a challenge because of that. Like even other utilities and other co-ops haven't been able to, or haven't had to do something like this. So even working with USDA, they're kind of like the regulations and everything. It's kind of not up in the air, but it's difficult to know what they are.
To navigate. It's a learning process.
And so it's very exciting. We did get our first one. So out of that $3 million, members across UEC, if you're in I believe it's a manufactured home older than 1987, you can take advantage of this program. And not only through UEC, but you can take advantage of the state's program as well. The state is currently doing funding.
Yes.
Steve Myers, he's also on the public relations team. I believe I forgot to mention that at the beginning, so I apologize. But he's on team, and he is the man when it comes to this. He knows everything about everything, but he knows everything about this.
I mean, we could have a 30-minute conversation on just the manufacturing home project.
And I'm probably not the best to have that conversation.
Kim and I spoke about it briefly, and if you guys are interested in it, we can get more information on that. But you can also go to UEC's Facebook page, and they've been sharing little updates as this project has gone on. So you can kind of get an idea of what that looks like and how it works, and then also you can reach out. So I think it's a great program. It's a way to get a really efficient new home at an affordable cost, and I mean it's a great program. But like you said, there's a lot to it.
There's a lot to it, and things are still changing.
Yes.
And in addition to the Facebook, I appreciate you saying that. On our website too, if you want more information, there's always more information and more details available right there on the website.
Yep. Awesome. All right, so moving through our conversation, because we're having quite a conversation today. I'm pretty excited.
We are.
Colder months. We're starting to move into those colder months, and so what can you offer our listeners? Any advice and tips on energy efficiency during these cold months?
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been trying to get ready myself, like in my own home, and so I've been kind of picking the brain of Jackie, who I mentioned earlier, energy efficiency, and so I just wanted to share some tips with you and the audience of some things that you guys can do on your own to get ready for the winter months and the colder months. The first, and it sounds a bit silly, sounds almost too easy, is just open your blinds during the day. You would be surprised by how warm the sun itself can just heat your home.
On a sunny day.
Right. We've got some overcast. Maybe don't try it during the overcast days. But on a sunny day, open the blinds, and you'd be surprised by how well the heat can come in through your windows.
I guess so, huh?
And then the second one is, as much as you can and as much as bearable, turn down your thermostat when you're home. Turn down your thermostat to what is comfortable. When you are gone is when you could turn the heat up. And the Department of Energy has a stat out there that says that alone can save you 10% on your electric bill. Just
up when you're gone.
Up when you're putting it back to normal when you're gone, but as much as bearable. Because if you have a sweatshirt, toss it on. If you have a blanket, toss it on. As much as bearable when you're home, you could turn it down a little bit, and that alone they say can save 10%.
All right.
The next is when you're walking out and about, maybe when you're going to put on your Christmas lights or whatever it may be, check your windows, check your doors. Look for any seals or any drafts that wind may be coming through, both coming in and the warm air coming out. And if you have to, you can use caulk or weather stripping on those. And then I mentioned it, but when you're getting ready to put on your Christmas lights, try to find the most energy efficient lights.
Right.
And then lastly, and this is something that Umatilla Electric is more than willing to help with, is we're already kind of in the colder months, but as we start getting closer and closer to the really cold months, do an annual checkup on all of your heating equipment. Right. And when I say that's something Umatilla Electric can help with, Jackie and other members of the team, we do on-site visits or on-site audits of your home completely for free because you're a member of the co-op. Yep. So if you would like, visit our website for more information, and we're more than willing to come out there and we're more than willing to check your leaks, if there are any leaks in your windows or doors. We do have an infrared camera that we use, so we put it next to a door. And if it shows blue,
Right.
cold air is coming through.
Right.
So we have a lot of resources out there available to you guys. So
Yep.
that would be the final tip.
And I would
We'll
say
go.
during those audits, you also learn if your windows are efficient. There's a
Yes,
window
yes.
program.
Mhm.
And you can also, I utilized it, was we replaced our HVAC system, our new
Did you use
furnace, the
Energy Saver Loan Program?
Yep, I did. And so it's just added on to, so we've got a new system put into our house, and we just added it onto our UEC payment.
There you go.
And we got a whole new system, so it doesn't, if you don't want to break the bank all at once.
Exactly, and I'll touch on that. What Torrie's talking about is we have a program, we call it our Energy Saver Loan Program. Similar to the manufactured home, we also obtained $1.5 million that we use for that program. And what that is we loan out money to someone who may need to purchase a new HVAC system, window installation, really just anything energy efficient for your household at 1.99% interest. So we try to keep it as low as possible.
Yep.
And it's nothing special. It just goes on your bill. It just goes on your bill as on bill financing.
Yep.
So like you mentioned, it's just right there.
It is.
We take care of it on our end, and it's just going to be right on your bill. So there's always that option out there as well.
Yep. So talking efficiency, what can we do to be efficient with our appliances during Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, those
All
holiday
this stuff coming
parties, all
up.
those things coming up?
All this stuff coming up. So these ones, I would say, and I know it's not always possible, but to the best of your ability, try to use smaller electric appliances. Maybe it's a crock pot, maybe it's an easy oven. Just your oven uses a lot of electricity, and so I know if you could put a turkey in a crock pot, show me, because I've never seen that before. But I know there's ways to try to use smaller electric appliances to save energy and not use your oven for 24/7 or for everything. The other one is just put a lid on it. When you're on your oven or stove top and you have something boiling, whether it's mashed potatoes, whatever it may be, put a lid and you'd be surprised by how much faster things
Use its own energy.
And use its own energy, exactly. And then no peeking. If there's something in the oven, let it be in the oven. Don't open it, because then every time you open it, you lose all the heat and you have to get more electricity.
Right.
And then the other we call keep your eyes on the size. When you're on a stovetop, you want to actually measure your burner size for your pan size. You don't want to do a big burner and have a little pan on it, because then you don't realize how much electricity you're actually wasting. The other is sharing is caring. I know not all temperatures are equal for different types of food, but to the best of your ability, if you can stick 2 or 3 different dishes in the oven, try to do that rather than just one, weigh one and put it in.
Right.
The last tip I have is to save the most electricity during Thanksgiving.
Just eat out.
Have it at your in-laws, is what I was going to say. Have it somewhere else. That's the best way to save money.
Right? Is that what you're going to do?
Actually, yes.
Yes,
Yeah, we're
right.
going to my wife's grandma's.
Right.
We are.
That's a good plan. So, being a Boardman Chamber member, is there anything you want to share with our audience on becoming a Boardman Chamber member? And what's the benefits of it?
Absolutely, yeah. I've only been in this role specifically, doing the community stuff, probably about 1.5 years. So not a lot, but I've already noticed how important it is to be a chamber member. Even just something like this, where you guys are offering these tools and platforms to get your organization's message out, is so incredibly important. And then also your email newsletter that you sent out, the luncheons, just the events, the ribbon cuttings, all that plays a huge role. And the biggest piece is just networking. And all those are part of networking, but just meeting people. And the thing I think about a chamber that I think if anybody's considering becoming a chamber member, and at least for me personally, I know for UEC, is the best thing about it is your other members of the chamber all have one goal in mind, and that's how can we make this a better place for our community? How can we improve the quality of life for everyone?
Yep, and that is everybody's goal, and it's been a passion of mine coming in and providing value to our members and our community and giving back everywhere we can.
Right.
I love our youth programs that we give back. We support our kids that have perfect attendance at grade schools in Windy River, at San Boardman and Windy River, and we provide a bike for each student with perfect attendance. We only gave out 6 last year. 6 bikes. So we're challenging
You're
our
getting
kids.
there, though.
We're challenging our kids to go get perfect attendance, but you know,
It's an incentive, though.
It is a
It
good
is a
incentive.
good
So
one.
it's our way of giving back when our members
Yeah.
like you guys support us. We take those dollars and we give back to our community and our youth as well. So
No,
we're
that's
very appreciative of you
huge
guys
kudos
supporting us.
to everything you guys are doing. It's
Perfect.
been awesome, and we're just thankful to have an opportunity like this, and then the other opportunities you've provided us.
Perfect, awesome. Well, before we wrap up, anything else you'd like to share?
I just wanted to say thank you again to you. I know I just hit on it, but thank you for allowing us to come on here. There's some few key dates and some announcements. One announcement that's special, that this will be the first time it's been public, but we're getting ready for a press release, so
It's hot off the press,
it's
guys.
hot off the press and it's coming. But before we get to that, Washington, D.C. Youth Tour, which is a tour that we send
Yes.
to high school students, to high school juniors across our service territory. Those applications are coming up. They're due mid-January, so
Okay.
those listening, if you have a student who's a high school junior, please consider getting on our website and looking at taking advantage of that great opportunity. It's an all-expenses-paid trip where UEC sponsors 2 students to go to D.C. to visit with congressional leaders, their congressional leaders of the state of Oregon, as well as a chance just to mingle with like-minded individuals of their age.
Absolutely. And be in DC.
And be in D.C. Right. The next one is April 22nd, 2023 is our annual meeting at the Eastern Oregon Trade and Event Center in Hermiston. So if you've never been to an annual meeting, please consider going. It's a wonderful night. We have not only updates from our president and general manager, but our board president as well give updates. And then we serve you dinner, we have gifts, we have door prizes, and entertainment. So it's just a wonderful night and a chance for you to hear an update from your co-op, more so than just this.
Yep.
And finally, the special surprise is at a recent board meeting, the Umatilla Electric Board of Directors announced that the retirement of $6 million in capital credits. So those checks will be in members' mailbox mid-December of this year, right before Christmas, right before holiday shopping. And so if you were a member of UEC from 2009, or not from, in 2009, in 2014, and 2015, any of those 3 years, you'll be receiving a capital credits check.
Wow, 3 years of capital credits.
3 years. The 2009 total, but then portions of 14 and 15.
15.
But that's, again, hot off the press.
That is.
We're
first to know.
Yeah, you are first to know. The audience, you're first to know, but we've been working on a press release. We're going to have things in our rule light and on the website, but it's very exciting.
That is exciting.
It's hopefully going to be able to help some individuals out.
Yep, it'll make an
heading towards-
impact on
heading
people.
to the Christmas and holiday
Yep,
shopping.
absolutely. Well, I just want to say thank you to Weston for joining me. Thank you to the viewers for joining us online today. This was our second chamber talk that I've had so far. So I just want to say look forward to our next chamber talk, which is going to be December 15th. I will have Anna Brown, the Port Moro Workforce Development Director, and we're going to be talking about all the things that they have coming up of back to the Columbia Works and high school internship and stuff like that. So thank you and look forward to December 15th. And I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody that was online with us today. And everybody have a great holiday and have a great day. Thank you.